So what we did is we took out the vocals. It was really interesting. I've never done this before ever in a writing session. It uses a filter and a gate, I think, and AI, right?
Yeah.
So as you can hear, there's no vocals. And we basically wrote a new song with new lyrics, and we also got strings. Where's the strings at? The strings made me cry when they came in.
This episode is being supported by Tape It, the iPhone recording app made for musicians by musicians. This is quite a departure in a way for Rudimental in terms of how you created this, because you don't normally use samples.
Yeah, like it was a really interesting journey. We were in Fraser T Smith's studio, and I think he maybe like dug up this sample. Well, he did dig up this sample. And he was like, why don't we work with this sample? It was an idea of his, basically. He brought this sample to the table, and at first my first reaction was let's just play some instruments. But we got into it, and it worked out amazing. I'll play you the original sample, because even when he first played it, I was like, I wasn't sure where we would or how we would. And there's this one part which Fraser T Smith identified. He was like, let's mess with that part. And I was like, you know what I mean? I could hear it. So I'll play you the sample that he came to the studio with, and then we can look at how he did it.
Yeah.
So obviously that was the bit we sampled, right? So what we did is we took out the vocals. It was really interesting. I've never done this before ever in a writing session.
Yeah.
So as you can hear, there's no vocals. And we basically wrote a new song with new lyrics about just wanting to say thank you to someone. And we used this music.
Right.
And repeated it. And Kesi went on an MPC. Fraser T Smith had an MPC, right? And he jumped on, and I've got it somewhere. There, look, where are you, Kes? This is Kesi on the MPC. And we literally just, like, Kesi started jumping it, and we did that, and it was a hip hop vibe. And then we were like, and so we basically wrote the whole song really over that vibe, I think. And then the good thing about Fraser T Smith's studio is there's loads of toys, fun stuff to play on. And I remember from the session, there was like a Mellotron. Where's the Mellotron? You know, we were just like putting random bits on.
Yeah. But this is really interesting, because so you haven't used the vocal sample at all.
Exactly.
You've taken the music from it, but you've kept some of the feel of that vocal.
Yeah, it was inspired definitely by the vocalist. We kept the vocals in the beginning.
Right.
On you. And that kind of inspired where the melody would start.
Yeah.
But we wrote a new song, keeping the music. And I don't think we'd ever done that before.
No, it's the first time. Yeah.
It was the first time. It was a whole new experience, and it really was so much fun.
It's quite fun as well in Fraser T Smith's studio. He's got, as Piers was saying, he's got tons of different synths. Everything's plugged in. Pianos are plugged in. Drums, everything's plugged in, and you can just like have something on loop and just wander around the room and just start playing around on something else and just add layers to a track.
Like, this is Kesi on the piano. Well, it's actually me and you on the piano.
It was both of us.
I'm playing the chords.
We were
and she's singing in the background. Or is it the vocal playing, whatever? It's just the vocal playing.
There's a funny recording of
from the room.
But there's a funny recording of both of us playing the piano at the same time.
That is us, I think.
Yeah, it's both of us.
Yeah.
It could have easily been one person, but sometimes when you're in a moment, Piers is doing one hand and I was doing the other hand, and it was like, what are we doing here? But it sounded good.
Yeah. And this is that point where we change a chord to a major. But and like were just having fun with it.
This episode is being supported by our good friends at Tape It, the iPhone app made specifically for musicians. If you, like many of our guests, use voice memos, then as far as we're concerned, switching to Tape It is an obvious choice. It's free, and there are a load of features you won't find on Apple's Voice Memos app, including the ability to record straight from your lock screen, set markers, add notes, include photos of settings, and you can easily import your old voice notes, sync to the cloud, and create shared playlists with co-writers and bandmates. So head to the link below to install the app now. And if you want even more, check out Tape It Pro and use the promo code TAPENOTES to receive a whopping 20% off. And now, back to the episode.
Another thing I swear, but I love the Eden in UAD. And then I love a good preset. If you find a good preset, I use it every single time for everything. Vintage R&B, and then just try not to make it too boomy. But Eden sounds amazing on bass for UAD. It's just like my go-to. It just sounds warm. And I've got like a synth going ba 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 bum to accent that.
Yeah,
but
Eddie's a bass player that plays in our live band, and we've actually been playing this song for the last year or so on a live show. So he's been killing it on stage. So
yeah,
we knew he would elevate the song if we brought him in and got him to play live on it.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's what's amazing about this tune. Because we made it probably about 2 years ago now. We've been playing it on the road, like Kesi said, and then I contacted the sound engineer when we were finishing it. I was like, "Can you just send me all the stems from the rehearsals?" Because at the end of the song and on our live shows, Beanie, our drummer, would do this mad fill. And because I was thinking this should be the last track on the album. Like, thank you for listening, thank you. You know, there's, many meanings to the song, right? Thanks to soul music. You know, she's obviously talking about that when you just want to call someone and tell them you appreciate them, basically. But anyway, like, so I actually dropped in all of our rehearsal parts, and so throughout the song, there's bits of our synths that we play on stage, all blended in to kind of create this wall of sound. Like, for example, there's this synth here. That's me playing either on stage or at rehearsals. I'm not too sure.
Right.
I just took what I could get from the sound engineer. And then, so yeah, there's this fill. Now, I used, at the end of the song, and I sampled a show of our own. And that's Lockie saying that to a crowd. But I had to re-record the drums as well, so that I even re-recorded some fills and used. So what I love about this tune as well is we really threw everything at it, you know, mixed live, and we also got strings. Where's the strings at? The strings made me cry when they came in. I'm not gonna lie, Kez. Do you remember I said?
Yeah, I remember.
Sally just sent me strings. Where are they? Strings.
I know I can't be trusted.
Sally Townsend, she did strings for album 1 for Powerless. And her and her husband just record layers and send them back to me. And it was just so much fun throwing music at it, you know, and like from start to finish, it's just all been about like the sonics of music and messing with it. And yeah, it was a real amazing experience, really, from start to finish.